Yes, I need Huey and Lizzie's book like I need water and to breathe right now. Hey guys, what's up? It's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel, and I am so excited for today's vlog because I am going to be tandem reading the Boys of Tommen series. So I spent a whole weekend about a month ago putting together a tandem guide for my favorite series ever. If you know, Books 1 and 2 take place at the exact same time as 4, and there are tandem guides for Throne of Glass, there are tandem guides for Zodiac Academy, so why couldn't there be a tandem guide for Boys of Tommen? So I put together a tandem guide. Here is a graphic of what it looks like. I will also post the link down below. You can find it on my Pinterest, you can find it on my Bookstagram, and this is the intro, but I've already read these. I'm just really bad at remembering to film intros, so I did it, and honestly, I am never going back and reading the series the same again. I just loved doing things in timeline order. That's just how I am. It's how I vibe. And so last year when Saving and Redeeming 6 came out, I immediately found that I prefer starting the series with Saving 6. And so obviously you're already going to do that, and then after you finish Saving 6, then you're going to dive into the other 3. And yeah, it's so fun, and it really, honestly, it felt like a TV show. It felt like a 2000s teen drama, like One Tree Hill or something. You are literally jumping from each character's POV because, you know, every character has different things going on in their life that other characters don't know about. You know, Shannon and Joey are siblings, but they also don't know about private things that go on in each other's lives. And so this has just been so much fun. So I'm going to take you along on my journey. I already had read Saving 6 prior to vlogging this just because you're not jumping back and forth with books on that one. So you're going to read all of Saving 6 first. Then you're going to jump into all of part 1 of Redeeming 6, kind of makes it nice and easy. And then after that, you're going to be going back and forth. So the guide will help you. But yeah, we're going to have some fun. So I have my Joey Lynch BCS crew neck to wear. I'm all cozy. I did decide, I think, so I'm one of those weird people that I like to have background things on when I'm reading. I don't know why. Utter and complete silence frightens me because I'm a lot like Joey Lynch and I have a lot of demons in my mind and I don't like to be alone with my thoughts. So I thought this would be the perfect excuse to restart watching the OC because, as we all know, our characters are from the early 2000s, and while I was reading Saving 6, Aoife mentions quite a few times that she wants to watch Seth Cohen and Escape. So I have my crew neck on. I am going to go put the OC on. We're going to rewind to 2005, and we are going to have a fun time. I have a very quick check-in so far. I think this is my first check-in, but as you guys can see, I'm about a quarter of the way through each of the books, and it is currently 6 o'clock at night on Monday, April 15th. So, yeah, I have a lot to do before tomorrow. I am starting Taming 7 tomorrow no matter what. So clearly I have a lot to read, but let's talk about it. So, all right. So obviously we start with Redeeming 6 in this tandem read, like after you finish Saving 6, because the first part 1 of this book, it like still starts before that first day at Tommen, and a lot happens. It's this party at the Biggs house, and Joey's invited because he ends up hooking up the guys with some drugs for Johnny later on. It's a whole thing. Aoife ends up at this party, and this is where little baby AJ is conceived. So, spoiler alert. This vlog is entirely spoilers, so just warning you now. That's all I'm going to talk about. But once again, I am going to say this. I need Huey and Lizzie's book like I need water and to breathe right now. We get very little snippets and clues of them in this series, but just the little stuff I have, I need to know more. So at this party, Joey walks in on a heated conversation between Huey and Lizzie, and right away, you know there's some messiness between them. Lizzie even confirms to Joey that there is messiness. And then a little bit later on in this book, Lizzie says that she ends up sleeping with Pierce, a teammate of his, and that it hurt, it sucked, she didn't like it. She also goes on a rant to Claire and Shannon at the lunch table when Johnny and Gibbsy are there, saying, you guys always are messing with them, leave them alone, it's a game to you. And you just know there's more to it. So I need their story. But anyway, let's talk about the 4 couples that we are reading about. So we have Joey and Aoife, and Joey is off to his fresh start because he has promised to turn over a new leaf to Aoife, and they're at BCS, and he doesn't really have to worry about watching out for Shannon anymore. Shannon is starting at Tommen. She meets Johnny. Obviously, right away, he's captivated by her and wants to save her and look out for her. And yeah, so I'm basically up to the part in Redeeming 6 where Aoife has found out she is pregnant, but Joey doesn't know yet. And then Johnny just drove Shannon home from Tommen, and then he had that conversation with Joey on the phone. So I got to see both sides of it. I'm just loving this tandem. It is so much fun. But I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to try to I would like to finish this one by 10 p.m. tonight. So we're going to try that, see how the evening goes, but it is almost Claire and Gibbsy time. Alright, it is now Tuesday morning. My morning has kind of gone to shit. My husband basically sprained his thumb this morning cleaning up some wood outside before he left for work. So, long story short, I have spent a while in urgent care with him, figuring all of that crap out. So, needless to say, my Boys of Tommen day has been a little delayed. Now, I have a few chapters left of Binding 13 for my tandem, so I still really want to finish that before I start Taming 7. So, I am in the Barnes & Noble parking lot now. I am going to head in. We are going to grab this bad boy, and then I will give you guys some updates of my thoughts with this tandem. It is much later. I ended up getting home and taking a shower and taking a nap just because, I don't know, this morning going to urgent care and all that, it just kind of spent me. So I feel refreshed, but I have finished Binding 13 for my tandem read. So I have gotten through, obviously, the dreaded night in the kitchen after Shannon returns from the school field trip, and obviously Teddy loses his mind because the school calls him and says that Shannon was caught making out with Johnny. We have our absolute favorite chapter in that book, Boom, Boom, Fucking Boom. I had to wash my sweatshirt I was wearing earlier because I got a stain on it, but you know. Anyway, I'll wear it later. At the beginning now of Keeping 13, I probably have a quarter left of Redeeming 6. Just about, maybe a little bit more, maybe about 30%. But yeah, it's really steamrolling, and I'm glad that I decided not to abandon the tandem and start this because I want to appreciate this. And yeah, I could have started like everybody else because I've had it on my calendar, but you know what? At the same time, I have waited over a year for this book. Yes, it was announced in August, but I finished Redeeming 6 last like March or April or whatever. So I have been waiting for this for a very long time, and I don't want to finish it so quickly because we don't even have our announcement for Claiming 10 yet. I also made the mistake of flipping to the end of this, and I saw the title of the end of the last chapter. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, I haven't read it yet, but you can like mute this or fast forward. But my theory going into this, and this was before I even saw this chapter, was that the events that happen at the end of this book were going to cause like a line to split the group in half. And it has to do with Lizzie and Huey, and I think my guess is right. So that sucks. But anyway, we're just going to keep on this reread. I am at the part where Shannon is like home from the hospital and her mom and Darren are like laying down the law. Her mom is insane because she keeps saying that Johnny is like a Teddy Lynch incarnate. I'm just, I have talked enough about Marie and Darren on my other reading vlogs when I was reading Saving and Redeeming 6. And you know what? My opinions on them, they stand, okay? And I'm really, really hoping to finish this one by tomorrow so I can start Taming 7 tomorrow evening, Wednesday night. I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, once again, I don't want to rush. So we'll see. Okay, it is now Wednesday, and I have a lot of updates, but I am going to go get my hair done because it needs to be done, and then we'll talk. It is about 10:30 Wednesday night. As you can see, I've been kind of reading a lot of this on my Kindle just because I go a lot faster on my Kindle, but I do own every version of this series. Like I have the audiobooks too, so it just makes it really, really easy to go back and forth. But little update. So I am now at the part where we are at the infamous Monday where all the shit is gonna hit the fan and everything's gonna go down. So Bella has just attacked Shannon in the bathroom, and we all know the chain of events that is going to happen after this. So I just want to like talk about a few things really quick. Like, this is my third time reading Keeping 13, and every time I read it, I tear up at the part where Johnny brings the 3 boys to his house and his parents and him just fall in love with them and don't want to let him go. And I tear up every single time at that part. Your heart hurts for the entire Lynch family, and you just see how amazing the Kavanaughs are, and like right off the bat, they just want to help these people and love them. And yeah, so I literally just finished the chapter where Bella attacks Shannon. So now I'm going to swap to this book where we get Joey's point of view, where Shannon calls him. He runs to Tommen, and yeah, we all know what happens after that. So I'm going to definitely try to get this done tonight because I am ready to start this tomorrow. But yeah, so get cozy, do some more reading, and I will check in later. All right, good morning. It is now Thursday, about 9:30. I need to run some errands, go down to the grocery store and stuff. So I'm gonna do the audiobooks, but it's a little harder doing the audiobooks with the Tandem because if you're zoning out and you're not paying attention, you'll miss when to switch over books for the chapter. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just listen to music. I don't know. I do have another audiobook, but I'm trying to get this done. I am almost done. So I have literally just finished the Lynch funeral. So obviously a lot to digest. I mean, obviously this is my third reread of Keeping 13. It's my second read of Redeeming 6. And so I really know the whole gist of it. Like I said, that whole Monday, it's amazing how much happens in that one Monday. That starts with Bella bullying Shannon and spirals into the death of Marie and Teddy. And it's so much to pack. It's a lot. To me, it's just so interesting going back and forth because with Shannon's POV, you know, she climbed out the window. She didn't see a lot. Johnny had seen more than her. And then obviously when you jump into Redeeming 6, you have Joey's POV. And at one point, Joey thinks his siblings died in that fire. And Johnny's like tackling him to the ground. It's so much to pack in. And no matter how many times I read it, it just affects me every single time. So, like I said, I'm almost done. I have just finished the funeral. Joey is headed off to rehab, and then we're gonna start. I do want to mention though, I've seen several people's stories on Bookstagram. Like, I'm trying to avoid Taming 7 spoilers. I've done really well so far. Like, I didn't read the prologue that was released a few months ago. Like, I just didn't want to read anything that was gonna get me so excited and wanting to read it right away. So I've done really good at staying away from it, but I'm ready for it, and I've seen a lot of people say that there's a lot of Huey and Lizzie in this book, like it's a big setup for Claiming 10, and I kind of had my speculations about that anyway. I need Huey and Lizzie's story, I really do, and if it's a big setup for them, I mean, it sucks for Claire and Gibbsy, because yeah, we want them to have their own story, but at the same time, I want that drama. So, anyway, I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to finish my Tandem, and then we will talk. Alright, so it has now been about 2-3 days since I have finished, and I just needed a little bit of time to think, sit, and process. I also have been reading Taming 7. I have like, gosh, less than 200 pages to go, and I really want to cry. But from reading this, I have thoughts with this. So let's talk about it. Like I said in the intro to this video, because I had already done this, I am never going back and reading the series the same way again. I might, just for like shits and giggles, but for now, I really prefer reading it this way. There's just something about the timeline order. It just, I don't know. Like I said before, it really felt like I was watching a 2000s teen drama, you know? And that's what I love about this series, is I love this setting. I've mentioned in, I think, the Saving 6 and Redeeming 6 vlog before that, you know, I am close to this age. I did the math, and I am Tig Lynch's age, Shannon and Joey's hot-headed little brother. And so I relate a lot to the things they're talking about and what they're doing, because you know, I was a teenager around this time, and we didn't have TikTok. We really didn't have social media. Like, we had MySpace, but that was really it. A lot of people didn't have it. And so I really resonate with this time. And so, you know, when they're talking about watching One Tree Hill and the OC, and, you know, Joey and Aoife are very Lucas and Peyton coded with, you know, nice legs, I'll be seeing ya. And then, you know, Claire is obsessed with Johnny Depp and Pirates of the Caribbean, because that is when that movie came out. And so, yeah, anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling about the time, but like, yeah, let's talk about this. So, you know, this, like I said, this was so much fun. And, you know, it did take me a little bit longer than I wanted to. I really wanted to be done with this by the date of Taming 7, but you know what? That's okay. That's okay, because then I just get to enjoy this longer. And I'm going to be honest, as soon as Taming 7 is over, I might jump back in and read these again. I have mentioned before that I do own all the copies of this, including the ebooks and the audio, and I love the audiobooks. And so I just kind of like to get sucked in and play like cozy video games while listening, and it's so hard to let these characters go. It really is. But I love these characters. I really do. And yeah, what was I talking about? Okay, so I guess I want to start by saying I do have a few different opinions this time around than my last reread. So this was my third time reading the 13 duet and my second time reading the 6 duet. And I have to say that the first two times with 13 and the first time with 6, I really didn't like Darren. Darren, I got so irritated with him and how he was, you know, backing Marie and, you know, making Johnny and Aoife these villains that weren't good for Joey and Shannon. And I'm still like validating that opinion. Like, I still feel that way. Like, it really irritates me. Also, though, at the same time, I didn't hate Darren as much this go around, just because I kind of see his point of view a little bit more now. He was the eldest brother, and he was scared, and he got out, and he is gay. And this is a different time, and this is a different country, and it really wasn't okay, and his parents were really shamed. And obviously, I'm not excusing, I mean, Darren left his family. He really left Joey high and dry there. But at the same time, I see kind of like, okay, obviously all those Lynch kids have their trauma and their demons, and Darren has his own. He was abused when he was in foster care as a kid, because there was a little stint where the three of them were put in foster care. And Joey and Shannon had a really good setup, and Darren didn't. And it really set with him for the rest of his life that he was scared that would happen to his siblings. And that's why he never wanted anybody to report them to the police or anything. So I don't know. I guess I just didn't really hate Darren as much this go around. I mean, I still have my gripes with him. Like, yeah, I could go into a whole spiel about that. But this time around, I don't know. He just didn't irk me as much. With Marie Lynch, I will say Marie Lynch did two things right in this entire series, and I guess in her children's lifetime. And the first one is when she put her foot down and sent Shannon to Tommen, because we all know that Teddy did not want that. But she finally put her foot down after excessive bullying, got a loan from the bank, and obviously it sets off a chain of reaction of events that will better the entire Lynch family for the future. And the second thing that she did right was covering and letting Johnny take the kids out of that house that night and not letting them all go down in flames. So to me, she's still a horrible person, but at the same time, I see her as the broken 14-year-old girl that was thrust into motherhood from an abusive man. And she did turn into their guardian angel. The kids talk about that in her funeral, and she really did. Like I said, she did two things right to me, so I don't know. All right, really fast closing thoughts before I wrap this up, because obviously we've all read this series and we all know what it's about. But now that I'm pretty far into this one, I just want to kind of talk about the other characters. So we don't really get a whole lot of Feely, Huey, and Lizzie in the first 4 books. We kind of get some stuff, but I'm telling you, in Taming 7, you're going to get a lot more. And I will say right off the bat, in Taming 7, I have had a few people ask me if I'm going to update the tandem, and I am going to, because the beginning of Taming 7 starts at the end of the summer, I think, when Johnny is just about coming back from when he was playing professional rugby over the summer. So there's going to be a little bit of that. But let's just say that there was quite a bit of a falling out from Johnny's birthday camping trip. We all know that that incident that happened with Lizzie and Gibbsy, and a lot of people are still kind of feeling things from that. So yeah, we all know that I really want Huey and Lizzie's story. Okay, my camera died and cut me off, so I don't even remember what I was talking about. I just remember that I was talking about Huey and Lizzie. Oh, okay, yes. So, I ended up, when I finished the tandem read before I started Taming 7, I ended up reading 7 Sleepless Nights, which is this book that Chloe released years ago, like years ago. And basically it has short stories, scenes from each of her series, and there is a little snippet in there for Huey and Lizzie. And I really highly suggest you read these chapters, because you get a lot of more insight to them, and it just, it makes me want more. It really does. I am telling you, I am turning these pages so fast in this thing every time I get Huey and Lizzie content. It is like crack laced in these books. I don't know. I mean, Joey Lynch is still my guy. He is still my guy, but you know, I have a thing for Lizzie. Like, Lizzie's my girl in this series, so I don't know. And Huey, yeah, I'm liking him in this story. So anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this up here, but you guys will have to let me know down below if you end up trying this tandem guide. I have had a few people let me know, and you know, if you don't like it and you want to read in the normal way, go ahead. Also, if you've never read this series before, I highly suggest reading them in the normal way. Also, if you haven't read it, there was a lot of spoilers in this video, so I hope you have read it. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna close out here. I am gonna read more Taming 7. Then I'm gonna cry that these characters are leaving me once again, and then I will probably start reading it again. So anyways, as always, don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!